Well, to those of you who are not aware of what's happened yesterday evening, you might want to go read the headlines. This has been in the making for quite some time, and why on earth am I going to read from the website of one of the most virulent, Jew-hating, obviously a Nazi, from his website? Well, two reasons. I'm going to give you two reasons. One, when it comes to information like this, he is quite thorough. The second reason is I enjoy getting even with him. Him and I have a short history. That's all I'll say about that. But I enjoy getting even with him, rubbing it in his face, listening to him gnashing his teeth over Israel's triumphs against their enemies. So this is just one way that I will rub it in his face by reading one of his articles. Flash bulletin: urgent, Israel launches unprovoked attack against Iran, and I will show you why this attack is unprovoked in just a few minutes. So Netanyahu motorcade enters underground bunkers as Israel begins attack on Iran. Israel has launched an unprovoked military attack upon Iran. Multiple reports from several countries are saying hundreds of fighter jets and drones are in the air over differing parts of Iraq, headed to Iran to attack right now, 8:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 12th of June 2025. Hundreds of warplanes and drones are flying over Iraq's Kurdistan skies, according to reports from local sources. Inside Israel, the defense minister declared a special situation is on the home front. Defense minister immediately declares a special situation on the home front throughout the entirety of Israel. Alright, so I will, because it's a lot here, I will have to scroll through some of this and bypass it. The Israeli Air Force has began launching strikes against several targets inside Iran. Massive explosions reported all over Tehran. Israel may be going for a leadership decapitation strike. Netanyahu's motorcade has entered the Mossad command bunker, etc., etc. So the operation name is Nation of Lions. Goal: eliminate the Iranian nuclear threat. Claim: this is merely the initial attack to suppress Iran air defense's main body of attack aircraft has not yet arrived. Attack to continue for several days. Israel's airspace has been closed until further notice. Reports of explosions in Isfahan. And if you know, you know. Imagery coming out slowly. Iranian official tells the New York Times that Iranian fighter jets are now airborne. Those F-14s can't do anything. Below, a missile impact in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps neighborhood. All these pictures show. Israel Defense Forces have officially confirmed the commencement of Operation Strength of a Lion. Yeah, that's more accurate. A full-scale military campaign targeting Iran's nuclear program and long-range missile infrastructure. Current strikes are concentrated on critical nuclear facilities, military installations, command and control centers, and high-ranking military leadership. The operation is designed to denigrate or degrade Iran's strategic capabilities and neutralize its ability to develop or deploy nuclear weapons. Israel's airspace has been closed to civilian traffic As additional preemptive security measures are enacted across the region, the operation is projected to continue over coming days and explicitly aimed at dismantling Iran's nuclear program, what if Israeli officials have defined as an imminent existential threat to regional security. You notice that existential threat, the term, has been used a lot lately. So, statement from U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio: tonight Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advises that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. All right. So apparently 9:31 p.m. last night, attack on Victory U.S. base in Baghdad. Entire apartment buildings have been blown out in Tehran.
ساعت الان 3:37 دقیقه ورودی.
Netanyahu: we targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. The defense establishment has detected Iran missile launches toward Israel. Third wave of reported bombings taking place now in Tehran. Iran's leadership is holding a top-level security meeting. Israel confirms strikes on Iranian nuclear targets. FBI reportedly mobilizing counterterrorism task force on alert status for potential Iran sleeper cell activity. Hal Turner was with the FBI's counterterrorism task force, I suppose, before he was unceremoniously booted from it. First two waves of strikes were against personnel targets. Third wave against infrastructure. Israeli official, alongside extensive strikes by the Israeli Air Force, Mossad led a series of covert counterterrorism operations deep inside Iran. These operations were designed to damage Iran's strategic missile array and air defense capabilities. Israeli missiles at Tehran were launched from Iraqi airspace, which is controlled by the USA. And, of course, he accuses Rubio of lying, claiming no involvement. And I would say a warning to Hal Turner. He needs to be very, very careful. He could find himself in prison once again, in U.S. prison. Claim: it appears that the uranium enrichment facility in Natanz no longer exists. Picture below. I don't know. What that picture doesn't show much. Here's another video here that the claim that is Natanz. Play that a little bit. I have just reviewed, geolocated, and confirmed video from two different angles an initial strike on the Iran, the domestic places where the leadership was hit in first strike. I'm pretty confident to put it out there, 95% plus 12 different houses and apartment complexes inside Tehran were all hit within 30 odd seconds of each other, and most about 9 within 5 seconds of each other, leveled. Whoever lived there is gone. Gives credence to the taking out of the regime top guys in one go. They seem to have done it. Senior nuclear scientist of Iran, chief of staff for Iran, top defense guy as well, targeted among other Israeli claims. So the former head of Iranian atomic energy has been assassinated. An Israeli defense official says Iranian military general staff, including the Iranian chiefs of staff and senior nuclear scientists, were targeted in Israeli strikes. There is increasing likelihood that they were all eliminated, the official said. Hassan Salami, commander of the Revolutionary Guards, assassinated. Here we have the suburbs of Tehran. Iranian TV, Revolutionary Guard headquarters in Tehran hit. Houthis are saying they are going to close the Suez Canal and the Strait of Mandeb until Iran destroys Israel and the occupiers are forced to leave. Good luck with that. The Revolutionary Guard headquarters in Tehran is on fire. It is also reported that 8 planes, Iranian planes, are shot down by Israeli pilots. Iranian state media confirms Revolutionary Guard Chief Salami killed in Israeli strike. Israel is removing all airplanes from Ben Gurion Airport and sending them out of the country. The IDF believes it has successfully assassinated the entire general staff and nuclear scientific ranks in Iran. That may explain why the attack was timed when it was, because they were all gathered together. Iran outlets claim that Iran will declare war on Israel and retaliate. And that's also been confirmed by CNN, by the way. You have all the names of the senior officials who have been killed so far. Reports from Iran, Israel has also assassinated Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of the Khatam al-Anbiya organization, one of the largest and most important entities within the Revolutionary Guards. Tabriz nuclear facility just targeted by Israeli airstrikes. All this was going on last night. The attack on Iran was preceded by a deception operation that included media, political components both domestically and internationally, with the participation of various parties. Israel managed to surprise Iran with mind-blowing maneuvers. 3 Iranian warships are now reportedly in flames. A U.S. intelligence official tells Faytuk's network the U.S. provided real-time reconnaissance support to Israel before, during, and after the ongoing strikes using secure channels. U.S. aircraft has also helped coordinate IAF missions. Over 240 plus Israeli airstrikes against Iran so far, according to Yair Altman, Israeli military journalist for Channel 14. A 4th round of planes is on its way to Iran. Unprovoked attacks, he says. Like I said, I will get to that in just a minute. Heavy nuclear explosions at the reactor in Tabriz, northern Iran. Israeli official says we are just getting started. Israel media reports that the head of the Quds force, Ismail Khani, has been killed. He replaced Soleimani after he was killed by Trump. Iran's armed forces, Israel, pay a heavy price and must await a severe response from Iranian armed forces. The USA has fully cooperated with Israel. Intel Iranian sleeper cells have reportedly been activated inside the United States. A spokesman for Iranian armed forces, General Shekarchi, said that Israel and the United States will receive a forceful slap. And Iran's armed forces are prepared and will be retaliating in force soon with counterstrikes. He said a retaliation attack is definite. Okay, you can read that. And he said he does not know if this is true, but CBS did say, CNN says that Khamenei has declared all-out war on Israel and the United States in the Middle East and ordered his entire proxy network to attack all Israeli and American bases throughout the region. And blah, blah, blah. These are the key nuclear sites. And there you have it. So, on on the Times of Israel, I saw this last night. I was not going to even talk about this. I knew about it yesterday. I was not going to talk about this until today, after the strikes have commenced. The U.S. participated in a massive campaign to lull Iran into thinking an attack was not going to happen immediately, Channel 12 reports. U.S. President Donald Trump said Thursday that an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear sites could very well happen, but advised against it, saying the possibility of a deal is fairly close if Tehran compromises on its atomic ambitions in ongoing talks with the U.S. Why did all of that? Why? I'll show you. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee said in an interview yesterday that Israel was unlikely to attack Iran without a green light from Washington. Yes. So, I will go ahead and, folks, you have to remember that Iran conducted the October 7th massacre of the Jews in Israel. Iran was the director, the conductor. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out in front here. 2040, the year Iran predicted Israel will be destroyed. Now is the time to prepare. Now, I don't need to, you can read it on your own. I don't need to read all of this. If your enemy says they have a deadline to destroy you, are you going to sit there and stand there and do nothing? There were two provocations. This one is the first one. The second provocation is October 19th massacre. So these Israel-hating Nazis that we have in the United States of America that claim that it's an unprovoked attack, they are liars and the truth is not in them. You reap what you sow. Iran sowed what they reaped last night and this morning and today and tomorrow and the next day. They earned that, the Iranian regime. Okay? Now, so Israel never agreed to any non-proliferation treaties, ever. Israel is not a party to the treaty or on the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons, the main international treaty aimed at preventing the spread of nuclear weapons. Okay? You can read that if you want to. Israel has signed the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, but has not ratified it. Now, so where everybody's going to start talking about, well, Israel has to give up its nuclear weapons. Nope. No, they don't. You see, back in the first phase of nuclear weapon production, France. Yes, France provided Israel with significant support for the Dimona nuclear facility, including technology and materials, according to the Times of Israel and other sources. A 1957 agreement between the two countries facilitated the construction of the Dimona reactor in the Negev desert. French engineers and technicians were also involved in the project, and according to The Guardian and other sources. So France and Israel developed a close relationship in the mid-20th century, which led to a 1957 agreement for nuclear cooperation. This agreement facilitated the construction of the Dimona facility. The Dimona facility was built in the Negev desert and included a nuclear reactor and an underground plant for plutonium extraction, according to the Wisconsin Project on Nuclear Arms Control. French provided technology, materials, and expertise for the construction and the operation of Dimona, including the design and the construction of the reactor, according to the Times of Israel. French engineers and technicians were also involved in the project. The Dimona project was shrouded in secrecy from the beginning, and the United States was initially unaware of the full scope of the French-Israeli cooperation. The Dimona facility was designed to produce plutonium, which can be used to build nuclear weapons. The Dimona facility in Israel's nuclear program played a crucial role in Israel's security strategy, provided a deterrent against potential threats. Now, what was the motive? What was the motive for France to help Israel develop nuclear weapons? France's decision to assist Israel in building the Dimona nuclear facility was driven by a complex interplay of factors, including strategic alignment. In the mid-1950s, France and Israel shared a common interest in the face of rising Arab nationalism, particularly concerning Egypt leader Gamal Abdel Nasser's policies, which impacted French control over Algeria. This shared concern fostered a climate of cooperation. The intelligence and conventional arms. France sought Israel's assistance in gathering intelligence on the Algerian situation. In return, Israel received French conventional weaponry. The Suez Canal crisis of 1956 presented a critical juncture. France sought a pretext to intervene militarily in Egypt and asked for Israeli cooperation. While the intervention failed, it underscored France's vulnerability without a nuclear deterrent and the need for a stronger national defense, leading France to pursue its own nuclear weapons program. Sweetening the deal, in the aftermath of the Suez Crisis, Israel demanded sweetened nuclear cooperation from France before agreeing to withdraw, resulting in the French commitment to provide a larger plutonium-producing reactor at Dimona, along with fuel and a reprocessing plant. Initially, France's motivation may have been commercial, intending to sell a reactor to Israel. Shared experience in lobbying. Both nations shared the experience of confronting Arab nationalism and were excluded from Anglo-American nuclear efforts. Fostering a climate for joint nuclear efforts. Furthermore, determined Israeli lobbying within a fragmented French political structure significantly influenced the decision to build the Dimona facility. Desire for a great power role. French leaders may have perceived assisting Israel's nuclear program as a way to demonstrate France's independent role on the world stage and gain more influence within Western councils. In essence, France's provision of the Dimona facility to Israel was a complex, multifaceted decision driven by an immediate political and military concerns, coupled with long-term strategic considerations and a desire to enhance France's global standing. Yes, because you see, got to remember, France was overrun by Nazi Germany, and their standing on the world stage was in question afterwards, especially being mocked by Americans for surrendering so quickly to the Nazis. So, everyone should have seen this coming when this particular article came out yesterday. Everyone should have seen it coming. The IAEA board declares Iran in breach of non-proliferation obligations. What do you mean? You see, Israel has never signed any non-proliferation agreement, but Iran did back in 1970, I believe it was. The UN's nuclear watchdog 35-nation Board of Governors declared Iran in breach of its non-proliferation obligations on Thursday for the first time in almost 20 years, raising the prospect of reporting it to the UN Security Council. Well, apparently Israel was not going to wait until it was reported to the UN Security Council, because, you see, the UN Security Council would rather blame Israel for all of the world's ails before holding these rogue regimes accountable. And I will prove to you. Yes, Iran signed the non-nuclear non-proliferation agreement. And, it was in 1960. It was an original signatory in 1968, ratifying the treaty in 1970. So, my point here today is if Israel, if the United States, if Russia, if France, if the UK, if India, if Pakistan, if they all have the right to have nuclear weapons for self-defense, then so does Israel. And these Nazi-loving crybabies like Hal Turner just keep on gnashing your teeth. There is nothing you can do about it. All of this is going to end in Israel's favor, folks. It was predicted in Genesis 49. Yehudah, a brother who was cast out, yes, will be praised or give thanks. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. And the rest of the tribes, the lost ones, your father's children, will bow down to you. Yehudah is a lion's whelp. Now, what is this operation called? Operation Lion. Let's look it up. Rising Lion. It says Israel takes the name of Iran operation from Bible verse. What verse may that be, pray tell? I don't know if this is going to post it or not. So they're not going to say what the scripture is, but I'm going to show you what the scripture is. Okay? Taken from the name of a biblical verse that promises a victorious future for a powerful Israel. This is that scripture. Is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, go up. Do it. So he got down and crouched. like a lion. A great one. A great lion, not an old lion. Great. Great, stout lion. And who shall rise him up? Who will arouse him? Well, the Lion of Yehudah has been aroused, folks. Like it or not. And I have said many, many times in my videos, and I'll say it again today, Israel, not the state of Israel, the kingdom of Israel, is going to become the world's lone superpower. Let me repeat myself. Israel, the kingdom of Israel, is going to be the world's lone superpower. There is nothing that any of you Nazi lovers, Christians, whoever you are, Muslims, can do about it. Nothing. So, I hope you're prepared. I have provided hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos warning about what is to come. And I hope you are ready.